Well, they're here. And there may be some silences during this because I'm still processing a lot. Um, One thing people don't talk about when they do get their final dentures is the amount of pain you go through. So there are a lot of adjustments that need to be made. You get a lot of cuts, a lot of sore spots, and it can be not just depressing, but heartbreaking. And I just want to let people know that that is normal. It will take weeks, months to get used to these things in your mouth. Even the snap-in ones have their issues. I have a few more sore spots to go through, but I'm getting it worked out, which is why it took so long for me to make this video. So after the last surgery, I had to heal for 2 weeks. And then they, during that, when they opened up all my gums to expose the implants and put in the temporary spacers, placers, I'm not quite sure what they are called. I could barely eat anything. Like they're supposed to be easily taken in and out of your mouth. And then I had to go back 2 weeks later and get the permanent buttons put in. I couldn't get my dentures at that time, but these buttons were sharp. So I had cuts all inside my mouth. Thousands of little tiny cuts. And it was just excruciatingly painful. I survived on a crap ton of ibuprofen. That finally started to heal, and we did, at that time we were still doing the wax try-ins, getting the teeth right, all of that. So March 6th, I got my permanents, which are these. To say that was painful is a bloody understatement. Snapping them in and out hundreds of times, you're getting cuts all over the place because you're making sure that they're working. So by the end of the first day, I had a cut inside my mouth here, I had one over here, I had some up at the top. Just, I was sore everywhere because of the constant in and out. So snap-ins are not exactly super simple to get in and out, and it's a freaking art form. So the first day, I knew that they weren't quite right, but I went ahead and left because my anxiety was so high that I couldn't do anymore. So I went back in the next day because these were all slanted upwards and my bite was completely off. So they took down some of the teeth. I can still chew, they're still super duper sharp. And they fixed a few more of the spots. Unfortunately, by that time, I had such bad cuts in my mouth that I had a cut from here all the way to here. So I decided at that time to take out my dentures for a few days, let that heal so I could actually see what sore spots I still had. And then when I finally put them back in, I did get a sore spot here and inside on the lower, which I took care of myself because after temporaries for so long, you're just not scared to work on your own teeth. Now, I wouldn't have ever messed with the actual teeth, but the inside where I know I'm feeling it, that's different. I do still have a sore spot in the back, which I will go and have them take care of. And then right inside the lower. My upper is doing great. I have very pointy bones. So that is a thing. My mouth was not the easiest mouth to work with. They've done a wonderful job. I am still eating soft foods. I tried a potato chip yesterday. It didn't go well. And yes, there are silences because I'm still processing a lot of information. My face does look fairly normal and very close to what it did. However, I started this in my late 30s. I am now 42. So not only am I dealing with the changes in my teeth and how they shape my face, but my face has matured. So over the course of the past 2 years, my face has naturally changed because I have aged. My brain was never able to process that change. So now I am processing multiple changes at the same time. The one thing I did do while going through this entire dramatic process, and I know people will make fun of me for saying how dramatic it was and how hard it is. It's like, oh, it's just teeth. No, it's your face. And that's something you look at every day and you know intimately. And when that changes, it can take your brain up to 3 months to process and accept that change. So during the past 2 years, I have done a lot of soul searching, a lot of thinking. I have been humbled very much. And out of that, I have decided to just be me because screw it, I'm done. I am not a mean person. I am not a hateful person. I just want to be who I am. And that means I get to dress a certain way. I get to talk a certain way. I get to be everything I am. And I hope that anybody else who is going through this does take the time to process their emotions and really figure out ways and things that make you happy. Yes, it is your face, it is your mouth, it is how we get sustenance. But there's more to life than that. There really, really is. I'm trying to think of anything else that I could say to help prepare anybody who is going through this. It takes time. It takes an insane amount of patience, which I am not greatly known for. And yes, I am playing with my citrine stone that my mother made for me because I got this right before all this started. And I swear every time I wear it, it makes me feel better. So I do play with this a lot. I hope for anybody who watches these videos about this Denture adventure, which was more like a horror movie and not an adventure. We try to put a happy spin on it. And in the end, it will be better. It's just getting through it. Know your options. If somebody said you have to lose all your teeth, do not make that appointment immediately. Go home. Process the information that you were given. Call another dentist. Get a second opinion. Understand there are multiple different types of dentures, all at different price ranges. I did the mid-grade, and I will tell you it did cost about $30,000. I emptied my 401k to do this because it was, when I got my temporaries, I knew I couldn't survive like that. So I did empty my 401k to get these snap-in dentures. I don't know if I will ever upgrade to the screw-in kind because I've heard they have some similar issues to real teeth. And because I have gingivitis, I don't want to go and pay that much more money to have the same issues. I can easily get to everything I need to get to clean it. And I'm still going to go to the dentist when I need to. It's like every 6 months they go in, they clean the implants, they do the things. They make sure everything's still tightened up and working as appropriate. I may end up going and getting some lip injections because that's the last thing that doesn't seem to be as it was before. I'm not doing that because I want to have big poofy lips. I am doing that to put them back to where they were before, because I lost about 1/8 of an inch of bone up here, which actually is what helps give your lips that volume. So I kind of want to put that back. I know they're not super thin, and I have them, and I'm very grateful that they are back. Because you look weird without lips. I'm sorry, but we do. And luckily in the community I live in, nobody said anything. Everybody just was like, all right, whatever. And there wasn't much. I eventually started going out without any teeth in my head at all, and nobody really said anything. It's mainly our own emotions and brains we have to deal with. And I know this video is getting long, and I am sorry, but actually I'm not sorry, because somebody out there may need to hear this information. It's your face. You're allowed to be upset. You're allowed to be sad. And you're also allowed to be happy and figure out what makes you happy and learn what makes you happy at the same time. And salt water, completely underrated, y'all. So I use pink Himalayan sea salt. I cannot stand salt. I really don't like salt. So I've had to force myself to use warm salt water, but oh my God, it really does make a difference. And I have drank an abundant amount of coffee because the warmth of the liquid, it kind of soothes your gums. So I would suggest more something like chamomile tea and not the immense amounts of caffeine that I consume on a daily basis, because I do a crazy amount of shit in a day. Right now, while filming this video, I have chicken getting ready to be canned. It's heating up on the stove right now. I'm washing other bottles. I'm getting ready to make a fairy garden. And now I gotta clean the house because it's a mess. So on that note, I hope that your journey is smooth and you take the time to learn things that you need to learn about yourself. And know that happiness is a choice. We all have things we go through, and we don't know anybody else's journeys. We only know our own. So, on that note, blessed be. And I wish you all the luck in the world. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. I try to answer everything I can, or send you to the places where I got the answers I needed. I did use Aspen Dental, my local, well, as local as I can get because I live really rurally. So I did use Aspen Dental. Look around, price check reviews, make sure you feel comfortable with the dentist and the doctors and all of that. You want somebody who will take care of you, who is not there just to make money and get you in and out the door. Dr. Lauren and Christy, who is their lead hygienist, are amazing where I went, and I love them to death. Granted, I hated them when they put me through pain, but they are amazing people who actually really, really care, and I am so grateful that I found them. I know I've tried to end this like 5 times at this point, so this time I'm actually really ending it. Blessed be everybody, and I hope you have an amazing, amazing day. Bye.